Hi and welcome back to Reggie Football Show on Transit TV. Today we'll be looking at the game between Arsenal and Brighton, which was played at the Emirates this morning. We'll be bringing you post-match analysis to the game. But before we do that, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel if you have not yet, and support us on our road to 200 subscribers before the end of the season. We'll start by analyzing, first of all, by looking at how Brighton approached this game. Usually teams are put under pressure from minute one when they come to the Emirates. But conversely, in this game, Brighton were the more aggressive team from the beginning of the game, which saw Martinelli taking off at the 7th minute due to injury sustained, from a tackle by Caicedo. Brighton looked more motivated in this match because they still have a hope of making it to Europe, even top 4 if care is not taken. So they look like a team that were on mission. They looked like a team that were ready to recover from the blip and the surprise huge defeat they suffered from Everton last week, 5-1. They were more aggressive. Positionally in the game, Brighton was superior as well, both in the defensive and attacking situations. The players looked like they understood their game plan very well compared to the Arsenal players. Especially starting with their goalkeeper, who I want to really single out in this analysis. He was very confident in position of the ball to his feet. This gave Brighton a lot of confidence and a way to play through the Arsenal press, because he held the ball very long to his feet and dragged Arsenal press to himself, which opened spaces behind them. And that was how Brighton was able to play through the press. And they recorded, I think, 3 counter-attacks against Arsenal's 1 counter-attack in this game. The transition play was smoother because they could play through the press with the help of the goalkeeper. Brighton as well had more physical presence in the game. They made more tackles and conceded more fouls. So this tells you exactly how the game panned out. If you remember before this game, during our review, we talked about the wings, the midfield, and Caicedo, creating of chances and taking of them. So let's look at the wings. In this game, surprisingly, Mitoma started on the right side as against left he's been playing. So we envisaged a battle between him and Ben White. But in this game, he started from the right side and still gave a lot of issues to the Arsenal defense. In the midfield, Arsenal went with Jorginho. And obviously we know Jorginho is a player that controls the midfield with his intelligent positioning and passes. But in terms of physicality and getting around the pitch, he's not the quickest in the midfield. And this gave some joy to Brighton. And they were really very superior in the midfield compared to what Arsenal brought. Caicedo one more time was deployed to the right back. And he had a lot of joy defending and also driving forward and joining the Brighton midfield, which gave Arsenal a lot of problem. In every department in this game, Brighton was much better than Arsenal. This one was very clear, and Arsenal could not find any answers to the questions that Brighton posed today. Yeah, you can look to the injury and the early substitution that Arsenal was forced to. But Trossard is not a huge drop from Martinelli, so he still cannot use that as an excuse. Brighton lived up to the expectation that they had been a bogey team against Arsenal, especially at the Emirates. Like I said in our pre-match analysis, they won Arsenal earlier this season in the Carabao Cup at the Emirates. So to many, this is not a surprise that Brighton won. The only surprise is the goal margin, and Arsenal failed to score at the Emirates, which is about, if not the first time, maybe one of the few times they have failed to register a goal at the Emirates. From Arsenal, from the way Arsenal played this game today, it's very obvious that they lacked confidence to attack Brighton. I think Arteta and his men realized the danger that Brighton had on the counter and in transition. So unlike they usually approach their games, there was some caution. And this worked against the team because Brighton is a team that can play the game, hold onto the ball. They are very technically gifted. So when you allow them time on the ball, they can pick their passes, they can find spaces, and they can make their moves. So it was difficult for us now to change their mentality as the game progressed, because they already had that mindset of, not rushing or putting Brighton, or throwing numbers forward, because they knew that behind them, especially in the wings, that Brighton had qualities to hurt the team. So you can say, confidence-wise, Arsenal was not very confident going into this one. In the midfield, they were also outplayed. Like I said, Jorginho is not a very physically gifted midfielder, and he doesn't have a lot of pace. So it was difficult for him to cope with the Brighton midfield. These guys overran him, and Arsenal found it very, very difficult to control the game. Then looking at goal scoring, with all the possession that Brighton had, Arsenal still had a couple of chances in the beginning of the game, in the first half. One fell to Odegaard, which he failed to take on, but tried to take on a more difficult chance that came later in the game. The first one was to Trossard, and he hit the crossbar. I think it was on the 20th minute. But once Brighton rode those chances, their own chances began to fall in. And then in the second half, as we all know, they scored 2 goals and one at stoppage time. So Brighton controlled this game using so many tactics. One, like I said earlier, the goalkeeper was good in drawing and dragging press from Arsenal, which opened spaces behind the Arsenal midfield, and Brighton used this to transit. They also controlled the game by their positioning in the pitch, which caused a lot of problems to Arsenal. They also did very well. We saw last week, Arsenal went to Newcastle and won 2-0. One of the complaints that Newcastle had was the Arsenal players were hitting the floor at any opportunity, and they used it to control the tempo of the game. Today, we saw Brighton do that to Arsenal, especially towards the end of the match. So the game plan of Brighton in this game was very, very clear. Put Arsenal under pressure, play through their press, counter-attack them, and create chances. And today, they did all this, created the chances, and above all, they were very clinical. Arsenal has had a very good season, but in the last 10 games, it's been hit and miss for the team, which obviously is a sign of a young team. The team is still growing with a young manager. Arteta has really, really done very well this season for Arsenal. The team has really done well. The team has progressed. Now, They're being looked up to make, the next step. The team showed signs of a need to add quality, especially experience, going into next season. This game was a very, very interesting game to watch for a neutral. There was quality, there was fight, and there were goals. I don't think, I know it's a bad day for Arsenal and their fans, because obviously it shows Man City surely will be crowned league winners by next weekend. So Arsenal now will have to try and win the remaining 2 games and look forward to next season. Having said that, we'll now get into, as usual in this show, the top performer in this match. And I've picked out Caicedo. Caicedo, for me, was the top performer in this game, and he was the best. With his energy, with his drive, his tackle, the fight, and the amount of trouble he caused Arsenal players today. He stopped Arsenal from playing. It's not many that stopped Martinelli. It's not many that stopped Jesus. It's not many that stopped Trossard from creating anything or scoring goals for Arsenal. But today he did very, very well in stopping these players and also providing an outlet for Brighton to attack Arsenal with. Before we go into the next segment, which was our prediction, to look at the predictions that we made for the weekend and the troll of the week, please hit the like button if you have not done at this point. Subscribe to this channel as well and share our link to your contacts on our road to 200 subscribers before the end of the season, which is in 2 weeks. I also want to remind you at this point that we will be at the preseason games this summer. Arsenal playing against Manchester United in New York, and also the game against Barcelona at LA. We will be there to bring you live vlog, pictures and videos of events at those games. So stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe, hit the notification button if you have not, so that when these contents drop, you will be the first to get them. We now move to the predictions for the weekend. Yeah, we called the Aston Villa versus Spurs that Aston Villa was going to win. Aston Villa won 2-0 on that one. Man U Wolves, we predicted a draw, 1-1 draw. Man U ran away with 2-0 in this one. Then Brentford West Ham, we predicted that Brentford will win in this game, and Brentford won 2-0 against West Ham. Arsenal Brighton. Yes, we said there's going to be a lot of goals in this game, minimum of 3 goals cumulatively. And we predicted a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Unfortunately, there were many goals as predicted, but in favor of Brighton. Brighton won this one 3-0. Then biasly, we predicted that Everton will draw against City. As you can see, City won 3-0. So that's it for this weekend. Arsenal fans, I think this is the end of the dream to win the league for the season. But obviously, it has been a very, very good season for the club, for the team. Not many predicted Arsenal will make top 4, not even top 6 this season. But for them to push Manchester City all the way to this second to the last weekend of the league in the title race shows you how far the progress and the amount of progress the team has made this season under Arteta. And they can only be proud of their team. Arsenal fans can only be proud of their team and proud of the manager and the players. And look forward optimistically to next season, with the addition of a few more players, especially experienced players, which is looking like the owners, the Kroenkes, are going to support Arteta with. The future only looks better. Troll of the weekend. This week we are trolling all the London clubs. At the end of the proceedings this weekend, it now means that Arsenal will be the only London club that will participate in the UEFA Champions League next season. Arsenal will be the only London club that will be in the Champions League next season. That is our throw for the weekend. Please, before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share this video, and also hit the notification button so that you don't miss any content on this channel. Bye for now and enjoy the rest of your weekend.